Hello everyone, it's April here with the United Region. That also means it's Autism Awareness Month. Now, anyone diagnosed with autism would have their own personal experience about what it means to be diagnosed with autism and, about what being diagnosed with autism means to them, what the word autism means, and the stimulation and sensory and what things like that mean, how it makes them feel, and about strengths they have, and about things that they're not as good as or make them feel vulnerable. I understand that feeling. I can't say I know how every person with autism feels, and no one can really. What I can do is share with you my personal story. And I'd like to. As David Spade once said, this is my story. I can't say I remember exactly when I was diagnosed, but I do remember that when I was a child, I was about 7 or so years old when I was living in Kansas. My parents told me, or I remember taking medication for ADHD, attention deficit hyperactive disorder. And then when I was older, I was about my teens. I remember just before I turned 14, my mother explained to me, we were sitting in a doctor's office or something, and she explained that I had something called Asperger's. I didn't know what that meant. And heck, I didn't even learn the word autism until years after. And it was in high school I began taking interpersonal skills courses, and those as well as some wonderful teachers at my school, and special education programs I was a part of. Nothing but encouragement. I have to say it helped my personal development flourish, and I'm very grateful for that. It helped me become a little more in sync with society, learn a little more body language, eye level with people, and communicate with them better. Empathy definitely helped me with empathy, or at least maybe helped me greater depth. I can't say for certain, but I wouldn't be surprised if it helped. And it definitely, it helped me. If it didn't answer a lot of questions, it helped me at least start to have some clear answers of what questions to ask, or make me feel a little clear about myself or what I needed as an individual. And it began to help, as well as I've had wonderful encouragement from my family, and I've met some good friends, and I'm very blessed. And you need that. You need positive people who care and want to help your development. Those are key elements, part of your environment, which we'll be talking about in the next episode. I would definitely say that in high school I was very lucky. I remember I was encouraged to speak to the Board of Education on behalf of my school's special education program. Pretty cool for an 18-year-old kid. And I remember a little before that I attended a retreat to understand more about autism and other developmental disabilities. I learned about the Individual with Disability Education Act, I believe it was in 1990, and I learned bits and pieces of more and more information over the years, and I'm very, very fortunate. And the more I've learned and the more involved I've become, it helps me feel a little less alone. But what's really helped is I've met people that I can relate to, and just make me feel welcome with open arms. And that's the best thing you can do, I think, is just welcome a person into your life with open arms and let them know they matter. Everyone matters, and we all need to show that every one of us has a value. I remember Mr. Rogers, Reverend Fred Rogers, once said on television that to solve a problem or to help people with all the problems that we're going through, Reverend Fred Rogers once said that he encouraged everyone to use every television program or every other imaginable program to show us all that every life is precious and that we all have value. I couldn't agree more, and he couldn't be more right. And the same goes for people with disabilities or, well, all the people of the earth. We all have value on this world that we share. And after high school, I admit I felt a little more alone, and it was hard. I got my associates in liberal arts after 5 years community college, but it was a struggle. I struggled, especially with algebra, not one of my strong suits. I remember telling someone recently, I had what I call a high school relationship with math, on again, off again. 1 year I was really good at it, another one I struggled with it. It was, you'd think I was in a high school relationship, on again, off again, on again, off again. Yeah, like on TV, on those shows with the high school relationships, on again, off again. And, it was hard. I met some good friends, and I'm very grateful. Helped me through some rough times. And believe me, that makes a difference. And then I remember Pitt. I remember going to Pitt State College, and those were some great years. Had some rough times, but some great years too, and it was the best thing to happen to me in a long while at the time. I remember I didn't even plan to go social work, but I wanted to be in broadcasting because at the time I wanted to be involved in entertainment. I thought it was the closest I'd ever get, broadcasting. And well, I remember it was one spring break. I was about to get ready to go back to college just before I would get my associates, and I see this commercial of a little girl, and she had chemo treatment, and she was in a hospital, and they had technology all around the room on the walls, and she was walking, and she tried to pet a horse, and they had another kid. They were filming an archaeologist at a digging site, and I was just in awe. I showed my mother. I sent it to her via email, and she loved it. She said, "Are you sure you won't consider social work? You incorporate your love for entertainment and working with people." And I started to think maybe I could have the best of both worlds. I could be involved in entertainment and work with people. And so I started looking into it, and the more I heard about social work, and the more I loved it. And then I remember going to Clearwater, and I remember seeing Winter, the dolphin that can. Some of you may remember her as the star of Dolphin Tale from Warner Brothers. Amazing film. I met the star, and she was amazing. And then I went to Pitt, and I was nervous. I was scared. Well, I didn't know what to think. I was definitely very uncertain and nervous, really. And the more, I don't know what happened, but I just took it day by day, and it was amazing. I was involved in the activity board. I was involved in the Autism Support Club at the time, or organization. I can't remember what they call it now, but I was vice president for 3 years and graduated after 3.5 years at Pitt State University with bachelor's. And it was a long road, and there were some challenges, but I was very proud, and I was very happy. for a little while. Made some great friends. First time in school, or at least first time since high school, I felt at peace, at least more at peace than I had in a while. And then, well, after college, then we had the lockdown, and that didn't help my development, my confidence, my self-esteem, or my pride. I felt trapped. I shut down mentally and physically. Or at least, let's just say, didn't exactly help. And, well, so much was happening, so little time, and I had to wait on a new job, and when I finally did that, my family ended up moving out of our childhood home, and I had to find a place fast, and I had help, and I'm very grateful for that help, and to have had a place to stay during a hard time. And then I left Kansas for Florida after a year as a teacher assistant to figure out my next move. And let's just say it was a rough transition. I had a lot to figure out, and then I ended up, well, just in limbo, just trying to figure things out. And I got involved with Autism Speaks. I remember I was involved with Echo Autism. I'm not as involved as I used to be with a full-time job, but you know, when I can, I like to attend the meetings and be involved. And I'm with Autism Speaks, very proud to be part of that. I'm volunteering at an autism center, associated with a hospital down here in Florida. And well, after a year of living in Pensacola, I ended up working I work at an elementary school, and I'm very blessed, and I'm very grateful. Part of such a great team, and feel like I'm able to do what I'm capable of, and put most of, if not all of who I am and what I'm capable of in my job, and it makes me feel like I make a difference, like I have some purpose. It can be trying. All jobs with value can be trying. But I know in my heart that what I'm doing makes a difference for someone, if not myself. And it's still hard. Life has its ups and downs. But I'm a lot further along than I was 5 years ago. I'm back on YouTube. I finally started making my house feel like a home, at least for myself. I'm meeting people at a church group, and I may or may not be finally making some new friends. That's definitely been hard. And I'm meeting people that make me feel welcome, feel human, feel like I can belong. That's the best thing we can do. Just show the world that everyone in it belongs. Thank you. Thank you for listening to my story. It means a lot, and I'm very grateful for all of you joining me today. And if you'd like, please know that everyone's story, everyone's experience matters. And if you have something you'd like to share, please feel free to leave a comment. Subscribe so you can join us for more videos, especially next one we're going to be talking about environment. Actually, 2 videos will talk about environment, but 2 different kinds. I look forward to joining you, and thank you. Thank you for joining me today.